Why does the fear of death play such an important role in our Soma teachings?
Understanding death is important to live fully. And the reason is fear of death is the central problem of humanity. All other fears and problems, they emerge from this fundamental problem. But this fear of death is not about biological death or the death of the body. It is the fear of the death of personal self or identity or ego consciousness. Because that means after biological death, nothing will survive at all. It will be total cessation, complete annihilation. And that is what is terrifying for human beings, that in future everything will come to a complete end. Which is different from animals, because in animals they don't have this personal self. So for them, their past or future are not important. Mostly they live in present, but not human beings. So our constant effort is how I myself, even in a symbolic form, which is connected to my personal self or identity, will survive in future. So we create endless future through our children. So genetically we will live, or works of art, or our name, our plaque somewhere, even on our graves. We want to build temple, institutions, corporations, Taj Mahal, pyramids, works of art, politicians. They want their names everywhere, because after our biological body's death, something of me will remain. That is symbolic immortality. And that is why most people, they live in future, because they are constantly trying to create that future. But the problem with that is we miss life in the present. So that is why a lot of people say, here and now, live in this moment. Reason is the same. We are totally invested in future which is not there yet, and very little investment in life in the present. So we are thirsty of life because we are living so much in future. So we want to grab that unlived life in this world, maximizing it. So we want to grab, we want to possess, we get attached, we want to control. And that is the reason behind all wars, exploitation, oppression, dominance. Because I want to live my unlived life through others. And whosoever is powerful will grab more, maximize. That is the reason behind inequality. And if I can't grab it, I can't possess life over others or through others, I will do through war, violence, oppression. So that is what we human beings are, and that is why the death is the central problem. Because we try to escape it, we try to live endlessly in future, and that becomes our prison. We are locked in it. So that is why understanding death, coming to the terms with it, is actually a path to living fully. Because the problem is inside, the problem is not outside.
So, what is it that we need to learn?
So there is a very clear solution. And solution is not an external word. It is within me. So the first part is to start feeling death. Because death and life are happening constantly in this body. But our brain created a shield to make us immune from feeling the death. And that is a research work of 2 Israeli scientists a few years ago. So how we start feeling death? By thinking about death, observing death all around us, going to graveyards, participating in death rituals, cleaning the dead bodies. So all those, or be very near to a dying person. So slowly we try to break this shell of insensitivity to death and start feeling. If we do that, there will be a mini crisis. We call it somatic crisis. Because we are feeling it, we will become anxious, naturally. Because we were escaping from anxiety by postponing something in future. And that somatic mini crisis will turn into a full crisis. And at that time, we will clearly understand the nature of death. That we created this personal self in order to escape from its fear, and that became our prison. If we go through this, we will emerge into somatic self. And that is the state we become free from the fear of death. It is not absence, it is freedom. Because now the background of our life is no more fear, it is a sense of well-being. And with that, a very interesting thing happens. Death will reveal its nature. Because as I mentioned, the death happens constantly in this body. Billions and trillions of cells are dying and new cells are born. So we will connect to our biology, body or somatics, and experience the presence of death along with life. And the beauty of the presence is, it is not terrifying, it is not an absence. It is peaceful, it is blissful. And that is what precisely happened to dying people. When they enter into death, that is what they experience. And this will become the bridge. Bridge to what? Our immortality. Infinite, timeless. And this is not the immortality of the body. We take a leap beyond time into timelessness. It is the immortality in consciousness. First time we will know that we are not mortals. Of course, in mind and body we are mortals, but this is beyond time in consciousness. And that is the point when we understand death fully. And with that understanding comes the fullness of life. We live fully and continue to do so until the death comes, and we will enter into death fully conscious without any fear or terror.
For those who may not be able to get out and go to graveyards and go to be around death Is there something they can do within their space to kind of go through this death experience while they're alive?
Exactly. So many did that. So the first part is practices, somatic practices. Because what somatic practices they do, they put us in touch with our body. And as I mentioned, body contains both life and death. So we will experience life in the body, connect to it, and sooner or later we will connect to the death also, because both are going simultaneously. That is one part. Understanding our somatic personality, once we are aligned with it, we will experience flow. And one of the beautiful part of flow is that we also feel death. Because it is like a peak experience. So we are experiencing life, and if we reach the summit of the life, what is there? Death. But death not in negative form. And at that moment, we'll be plunged into full-fledged somatic crises and ultimately understand death. So these are the two means: somatic practices, aligning with our somatic personality to ultimately maintain, sustain the flow state.
Is it possible for everyone to go through this experience?
It is the human nature. All of us contain that potential, that possibility. But we have to intentionally take first step to break that shield of immunity from the fear of death, and then move further.